Toot, 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 toot. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Friday. It's the 20th of January, and look at it. Almost January's over. It's amazing how time flies so fast here. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609. And we got a great show lined up for you guys today. It's Friday again. 20th of January, and we just want to say thank you, everybody that showed up last night to Postatanos in Oak Brook. Wow, what a night it was. Frank and Bill have a great staff over there, an incredible job. And everybody that was there, Danny and Robin, of course, thank you, Lou and Dana, Louie Pipes, singing some songs last night. Of course, Joey and Cindy Spins in the house, Dave, Pam, and her mom. And just seeing Sal and seeing everybody there was just fantastic. Great night it was, over the top. And of course, Tony Toto, Double T, yesterday did an incredible job doing sound for me. Because, everybody knows Tony is a drummer. And he's a great drummer, and he sings, and he has his own band, and he does stuff like that. So he's been doing sound for me. It's about the third or fourth show. And he did an incredible job. DJ and all that stuff worked out perfect. So Tony did a great job. Tonight, folks, will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Daryl Armenstad. That's an 8 o'clock hit. So let's get into details. Before we do that, folks, we need to let everybody know that, it's very important to let people know our sponsors. Of course, our good friends, everybody from, and it's good. I mean, I love the fact that we love supporting local establishments, and this one's what it's about. We want to welcome our good buddies, of course. Ocean's Pit is brought to you by our good friends and sponsors from the Norwich Ace Hardware and Des Plaines Ace Hardware. Remember, they've been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. That's right. That's Ace Hardware in Norwich. And that address is 8330 West Lawrence Avenue. And there's a number right on the screen, 708-456-6800. And also the Des Plaines Ace Hardware. That's 1175 Lee Street in Des Plaines. And there's a number, 847-376-8582. That's Ace Hardware Supply and Demand. They got so much great stuff. Buy local, shop local. Thank you, Raffaello and Jackie, on that. Anyway, folks, so thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm having a great day, so I hope you are having a great day. And we got the weekend's coming. You got to be excited about the weekend. Now, Saturday, folks, there's two shows. We'll be at the Hobart Theater in Hobart, Indiana, with Ocean's Rat Pack. Now, that's going to be a 2:30 in the afternoon show, matinee. Daryl Armenstad on keys, Elliot Winbush as Sammy, Bill Saratella as Frank, yours truly as Dino. That's at the Hobart Theater in Hobart, Indiana. We're looking forward to that. And then at nighttime, we'll be at Villaggio in Roselle with Tony Toto and Danny Ramonde. That's an 8 o'clock hit at Villaggio in Roselle. Sunday, we're at the Drake for a private affair. But a lot of good stuff, man. And I'm telling you, I'm in a great mood today. And I hope you guys are in a great mood because we got a lot of great stories. But before we do that, let's thank some more sponsors. We need McCampbell Law Group, attorney at law, statewide law practice that is client-focused and results-driven. Call my buddy Leroy at 708-275-4264. Don't forget Deutsch Power Center out of Elgin, Illinois, servicing the construction and diesel industry in Chicago for the last 100 years. That's Deutsch Power Center, 224-276-6550. And let's not forget our buddies from Don Esteban Cigars. Tarpon Springs, Florida, hand rolled, delivered right to your home. Call Javier at 727-366-7536. And don't forget our good buddies from Trico Hair Experts. That's right, Trico Hair Experts. Carmela and Anthony do an incredible job for men, women, and kids. A reasonable price. Give them a call, 773-999-7888, recreating great hair days. Now, folks, you can see us on all the different outlets, social media outlets. We are on LinkedIn. Look at the bottom of the screen. You can find Ocean's Pit on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter, right there at the bottom of the screen. Very, very important. You can see us on YouTube. You're watching us on the Tony Ocean Show page right here. You also know we're on the Mo Carrara page, but why don't we also go that we're on our brand new Ocean's Pit page, Facebook page. So go there, like it, share the show right now because we got a great show for you guys today. And let's not forget another thing that's very important. Our good friends from Almost Home Foundation. We all love animals. Most of us do. I don't know too many people who don't. I don't trust people that don't like animals, especially dogs. Dogs or cats. So if you're going to talk about pets, you can talk about dogs. You can talk about the Almost Home Foundation right on Irving Park Road in Schaumburg. Kelly Kane and her crew do an incredible job, ladies and gentlemen. See, but here's the thing when you have these foundations with animals or anything like something like this, they need help. They need money. They need supplies. They need volunteers. It's very simple. If you got a couple hours a week, you want to give up and try to work and do something nice for some pets, Almost Home Foundation can really use your help for volunteers. So go to almosthomefoundation.org or go to the Almost Home Foundation Facebook page and see what interesting stuff they get to help support our pets, especially those dogs. You got to love them. Absolutely. All right. So voice a little better. Yesterday, I made it through the night. Um, Still a little scratchy, but it's getting better and better. And let's see how it is on Monday after the shows that we got coming up. And then next week is busy too. The 25th, we're going to be at Rosario's in Roselle. That's the Wednesday with Mojo's Jukebox, my new rock band. That's going to be interesting. So we're going to do an unplugged set that went next Wednesday. Next Thursday, me and Tony Toto will be at Rosebud in Lamont, making our debut over there. I've never been there before, but Bobby Hicks running the place, so you know it's got to be a good place. That's next Thursday. Next Friday, of course, Chicago Prime with Jeff Dubray. And next Saturday, we'll be at Taverna on Division in Melrose Park. Now, I have not been there since November of last year. It's going to be great. Tony Toto banging the drums, the great Jeff Dubray, sound, etc. And we got one of the Jersey girls, one of my favorites. I love them all. You know, they're all my favorites. I love them all, three of them. But Daniela Croco, folks, she'll be joining us, special guest. That's next Saturday, 28th of January at Taverna. So let's say hello to some people here tonight. Jill, how you doing? Kathy, Danny, Ramonde, see you tomorrow. Hello from Frankie the Head. Bobby McKinley, tell Frankie the Head I said hello. Robert the General. Richard, how you doing? Tina, what's up, my dear? Richard, Lamont, you big ugly dummy. That's right, big ugly dummy. Boy, I shouldn't be saying that. Anyway, Albert, what's up, my good friend? Tony Toto, great job last night, brother. Over the top, brother. Right on, bam, bam, bam. There was no stopping cue. Straining your voice again. Glad you have a cigar isn't lit. Yes, Mary. I promise you, I've not lit this cigar since the 29th of December. So I got to hold it, though. Something. I got to keep something in my hand. So you guys kind of know that. Toto killed it. Joey Spins. Great seeing you and Cindy yesterday. He did a great job. Which I've known. Deb Tyler, we play Postatanos once a month, every month at Postatanos, one Thursday a month. So next time we're there in February, it's always on my Facebook page. You check it out, Deb. I hope you're doing well. Kathy Eppolito from Santa Barbara. Daryl Amundstad. I will see the professor tonight at Chicago Prime. And tomorrow, I'll see Daryl with the Rat Pack in Hobart, Indiana. 2:30 show. Oh, yeah. So it's good. All right. Couple things we're going to talk about, folks. Don't forget two big things coming up. April 23rd for St. Jude's benefit. Nick Sahajas and Phyllis Sahajas doing it again at Des Plaines. 2:00 show. It's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll is the theme. I'm going to be doing some rock songs. Nick's brand new band, The Hitmen. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets at oshows.com. And then the next big show we got coming up, folks, coming up right around the corner, and that's Saturday, February 18th. Mark the calendar if you haven't seen it on my social media page. The 18th of February, my brand new Best of CD. What are you saying, CDs? Who buys CDs anymore? Well, the younger generation feel that way, but not the older generation. They all still love their CDs. And, you know, I've got 10 that you can buy them all on the Tony Ocean website, TonyOceanMusic.com. And, but what we did do is, since I celebrated my 30th anniversary, we put together best of all 10 CDs, and we put them together on one. The CD is called "I've Heard I Had a Good Time." So if you guys have been following my career all these years, you kind of know that I've had some great times, a little crazy times. I don't even remember, but I heard I had some good times. So the CD is coming out plus two bonus tracks, two duets. Surprise. We'll give you some info as we get closer to the date. Saturday, so far we got Danny Ramondi, Tony Toto, Regina Karma will be joining us on the 18th of February. Oshows.com for tickets Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that. All right. So let's get to some stories, some important stories, some stories that are really pissing me off right now. I don't like when my friends, I have good friends. I'm lucky to have great friends. And one of my great friends, and a guy that I follow for many, many years, and he's been supporting music forever, is Mr. Ron Onesti. He's been mentioned how many times on this show? We all know him. Most of you people know him. Of course, Ron Onesti runs the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, plus the Speakeasy, plus the Des Plaines Theater in Des Plaines, plus he runs all the Italian festivals and Columbus Day Parade. Ronnie puts his hands in everything. Obviously, you must have heard it on the new on his Facebook page and everything that's going on. You know, at his Des Plaines Theater, he has. Remember, when you're a theater, you can rent it out. People can come and rent out your theater. People could come and rent out your restaurant. People could come and rent it out. So, people from an organization called Awake Illinois called the Onesti Services and said, we want to rent out your theater for this special date in February. So they go through the same stuff that they have to go through, find out this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you rent it out. And some of this particular event that's going on right now, that was supposed to be there, had some speakers and some stuff that they were doing that it is what it is. Freedom of speech, freedom to do what you're going to do. And like I said, when they rent the hall, it is what it is. You take the money, do what you got to do. I mean, that's what people do in these, when you have a theater to rent, whether it's a play, whether it's a party, whether it's a Christmas party, whether it's a meeting, whatever it is, you can do it. Accusing Ron of being involved in this organization is a bunch of bullshit. Ron is not that at all. Ron had no clue of that. Knew the organization. They didn't know what kind of speakers were coming in. They just knew that they wanted to rent this theater out. So the backlash that Mr. Ron Onesti got from the town and from the papers and from fans and people just don't, look, it's a different world we're living in right now. But whether you're against it or whether you're with it, you should have the right to speak your mind. You should have the right to do whatever you want. Now, whether we follow that or not, that's up to you. Whether we don't like the organization, whether we do like the organization. The best thing about this country is right now we could be able to do whatever we want. The free speech, you should still be able to that. And Ron took some unnecessary, horrible backlash. And I got some texts and people saying, Tone, horrible, what has happened to Ron. And you guys, it's just horrible. To know Ron is to love Ron, Becky. We all love Ron. That's right, Carol. Jenny, my throat's much better. Getting there, honey. It's getting there. Pina, how you doing? Jill loves CDs. I do too. So we all know Ron. Gigi and Michael celebrating 34 years tomorrow night. Oh, Michael and Gigi. And let's just break in real fast. We'll get some more of that. Our good friends, of course, Michael and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. For all your collision auto repair needs, go to crashchampions.com. Happy 34 years, my dear friends. All right. So, here's another thing that you don't get. People don't remember all the good things you do. The minute something maybe went wrong the one way, all of a sudden they attack you like you're a new person in town. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. Go to Ron Onesti, Oshows.com, and you can read the letter, the just released letter that Ron sent out. But everybody doesn't. They don't remember all the good things and everything that Ron Onesti does for Chicago, for the talent and for people in general in the community. Blah 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 blah. And something like this, they're always looking for something. You ever notice that when you're climbing up a ladder and you're successful, there's always people just trying to throw darts at you all the time. It happens to every single one of us because we all, wherever we're doing in our careers, we're all successful, whether it's a restaurant, business, a lawyer, whatever you are, plumber, whatever it is. When you're good at all that, there's always someone to throw something at you. And everything that Ron does, there's always somebody that's not happy with it or just not right. But when you start insulting Ron and sending bullets in the mail and threatening phone calls to his home and harm his family for something that he had no clue, he was renting the theater out. That's what you do. So we all know that Ron Onesti is a great guy and a very good friend of ours. Great friend of mine. Did a eulogy for my father, managed me for many, many years. Married me 5 years ago, me and Laura. But everything he does that we don't even know about, we don't even know half the shit that Ron does for people. We just know that certain things that's out there. And Michael, they're all jealous. They're all jealous. Mary, Ron is a great person. Right, Mary? Oh, never look for the good. Always look for the bad. You know, it is what it is. Frank Nino, how you doing? He is a true gentleman. And if Ron would have known that all this shit was going down or what this company was doing, remember, they bought this company in, and then this company guys hired speakers. Well, how the hell do you know who the speakers are going to be when you hire the hall out? Okay, say you hired the hall out for somebody's birthday, and then it was something that went a little crazy. It's not the hall's fault. Ron has no clue on that. So the harsh stuff that's going on in my pal Ron Onesti is unjustified. Because we all know Ron is there to help us out. So send him a text, send him an email, go on his Facebook page and say, we support you, Ron. We back you, Ron. We back Onesti Entertainment. That's what we do. Crazy world, brother. Yeah, Scott Broker. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well, my good friend Scott. Haven't seen each other in years when we used to work at Jilly's downtown. It is a crazy world. And it's a nutty world. But like my Mama D said, it's not the world that's screwed up. There's a lot of individuals in this town and this world that's screwed up. So we're going to leave it on a positive note and support Onesti Entertainment, around Onesti Entertainment. All right. Here's some good stuff, folks. Smoking jackets. How many men can tell me running those kind of businesses, Becky Lee, is not easy, right? It's stuff like that that makes me wish I was in the mob. Me and my boys break the knees of garbage who threatens Ron. Mike McClary from Good Clean Fun. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well, pal. Smoking jackets. I used to have one. I used to always love to see Hugh Hefner. He used to have the pipe because I smoke a pipe with black Cavendish tobacco. Privately owned venues and news, social media do not fall under freedom of speech. Only a government environment has the right to freedom of speech. Private businesses can accept or reject whoever they want. There you go. But Craig, what I'm trying to say is no matter what a technology, people can communicate. Dennis, I love that from Wisconsin. Ron is the best. Thank you, General. Anyway, it's still freedom of speech because if you want to rent the place out, you can rent it out for whatever it is. If it's a wedding that you don't like or a certain birthday party or whatever it is, it's just backlash that does not need to be out there, folks. So we all know that. Let's look at the person we're talking about. We're talking about Ron Onesti here. We're not talking about a stranger that we don't know. He's done too much good in the Italian neighborhood and the regular neighborhoods in general, how much business and everything he's bought into the town of Des Plaines. And they've helped big time with Ron. It's a good team. It's a successful team. Always somebody try to break it down. Speaking of good people, Danny Mazzi and Robin, good friends of mine. And of course, And let's not forget Armando's Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois, 847-695-0100. Buy local and shop local. Great seeing my buddy Danny and Lou and Joey and seeing the guys yesterday. Very cool. Tony, Ron is awesome. Fantastic. Patrick, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. All right, so man, you know how crazy this world is? Think about this shit, folks. 20 years ago, did we really worry about all this stuff? Really? I mean, my God, they can't wait to just dart anybody out there. Ron is the best. Active Illinois International. Yeah. There you go, Ron. Craig Olson, you hit it. You hit it right on. That's the perfect words. Active Illinois intentionally deceived Ron. They came in promising something. This is what it's going to be. And then it ended up being something completely different. So when Ron Onesti found out about it, at first, the way they presented it to him, it was the way it's supposed to be. Okay, no problem. Rent the theater. But just like you said, and then you decide to change the plans, and it's a different objective that's coming in, and you don't notify the people that rented the room. It's absolutely crazy. It's not Ron's fault. Ron had nothing to do with it. He only did what he only agreed and rented the venue, the theater, to what he thought what he was getting. And he did not get that. So there you go. Thank you for all your support there, and reach out to Ron and you tell him. Thank you so much, Craig, for that. Michelangelo, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. All right. Smoking jackets. Let's go back. Did you ever have one? I had one. I think my second wife bought it for me. And it was like red velvet, and I smoke up a pipe, Black Cavendish. I love the old Sherlock Holmes pipe. Anyway, so yeah, those smoking jackets. You come out and you put the smoking jacket on. Oh, Ronnie, Anthony Napolitano from our gang and all the other bands, Charles in Charge. Sometimes plays with Ocean too. Anthony's a great guy. Thank you. Yeah, Ron is the best, guys. All right. So I don't know how many men out there had a smoking jacket. I had one. I'm going to get me a new one. I think I'm going to get me a new one. Yeah, just perfect. All right, let's forget that. Let's get to something else. How about this? For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, in 40 years, Coca-Cola products will be sold at Wrigley Field at the Cubs game. How about it, folks? For the first time in 40 years, Coca-Cola products will be sold at Wrigley Field at the Cubs games. Interesting stuff. How about this? Do you remember, if you're hockey fans out there, I don't watch it all the time. I do watch my Rangers, New York Rangers. Do you remember when hockey players weren't wearing the helmets? I liked it better that way. You remember? I mean, I know it was young, but sometimes you see when they used to play when they didn't have to wear those helmets, and now they do. It's a completely different game. For how much? $20 a cup? Richard, what do you think a Coca-Cola is going to cost at Wrigley Field? Drink Campbell's chicken broth with your voice, straight up. I drink it all. I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks, Dennis. I did. Was Red Silk, right, Danny? Yeah, me too. I had one. Red Silk one. Hugh Hefner, Ocean in a Smoking Jacket. Yeah, but I loved it. Sure, why not Coca-Cola? I don't know why, Becky. I think they had a product, a contract with Pepsi. I'm thinking, but now Coca-Cola's there, so it's big news, I guess. If you don't like Coke, then that is what it is. Joy Behar. Let's get to this other Fox News. Joe Behar, one of my favorites. From The View, said, remember what she said 2 or 3 days ago about she's against men who, heterosexual men who support tackle football. It's the NFL. Guys love watching football. It's been around forever because these guys tackle each other. She thinks that we're like prejudice. I mean, she's whack job, this Joy Behar. Okay, Bearhart, whatever. But listen to this. Here's what she just recently said, folks. She said that the Republican people planted these papers in Joe Biden's wherever he had him, at the house, the garage, wherever, purposely. Come on. Really? Joey Behar, I don't know how she gets a job. I don't surprised that that show, The View, if not, she's an idiot. I don't even know how they ever got, how does she keep her job? Some of the stuff that if we were to say, like on a big venue like that or a big outlet like that, come on, they can say whatever they want and they never get in trouble. They planted it. Ringo, for all you Beatle fans, Ringo's All-Star Band is going to tour this year. Pretty cool. I looked at the lineup. He's got the same guy, Steve Lukather. He's got Colin Hayes from Men at Work. I like what he does. She's probably on her knees. There you go, Michael. Absolutely. I played hockey. You need a helmet, right, Anthony? I do. But remember back in the day when they didn't have the helmet and people said that they could see, but I don't know. I'm not a player. Yeah, you know what she is right there. She's a little whack job. We all know that. How about this, folks? Speaking of sports, let's go to baseball here. Triple A, minor league baseball. Now we're going to have a robot calling balls and strikes. Robots. A robot will be calling balls and strikes for the Triple A minor league in baseball. They're still going to have a regular ump at home plate just for balks. And if they're going to be safe, when they come into the plate, if they slide into home plate. So that's the only reason they're going to have the umpire. But the rest for balls and strikes, it's going to be a robot. Wow. I'd like to see what's going to happen with that. Now, this is AAA, so they figure they're trying it in AAA, minor league baseball. We'll see if it works, but should be very, very interesting. Can you guys tell me about this something? Now, this TikTok is huge. It's big, right? There's people that slowly but surely destroying the integrity of the game. Richard, I agree with you. That's not cold. More jobs lost. That's not cool. You're right, Becky. More jobs lost. I agree. Maybe they're trying to get it to the point where the game can move faster. Wasn't there some rumors a couple years ago that they were going to bring the baseball to 7 innings only? I don't know if that ever happened, whatever. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. But jobs lost to robots. And you're going to see it happening more and more, Becky. I guess there's a hotel in China or something that's completely, or Japan, that's completely run by robots. And that's one of the stories that someone sent in. A friend of Michelle Rocco from Elmwood Park said she went into the Naperville hospital and there was like a robot walking around and looked like Rosie the robot from the Jetsons. And she said, and on her page, if you go to Michelle Rocco's Facebook page, you'll see a picture of this robot that does look like Rosie from the Jetsons. So I don't know if she's a greeter or maybe telling people where to go. This robot, it's crazy. Going back to TikTok, I mean, you can become a superstar like that. There's this lady named Alex Early, 2 million followers on TikTok. I don't know. I don't look at TikTok, so I couldn't tell you. But what is she doing to get 2 million followers? Is she stripping? I mean, what is she doing? She, juggling cans of paint? I mean, I don't know. They do have robots in hospitals. Okay, thank you, Anthony. I did not know that. 2024. Yeah. Hey, Lana, how are you doing, my friend? Long time no see. Kim Peterson LeFew. I'm much better. 85%, Kim. So thank you so much for asking. We should refuse to communicate with a robot. I agree with you. That's some scary shit. Just like I mentioned yesterday on the show with my wife, Laura. Guys, remember the first time a man or a woman heard a parrot talk? Don't you tell me they were screwed up for like 3 or 4 days? Right? Robot. Scary stuff, what's going to happen. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime. Maybe. But our kids are going to see robots. It's going to be a whole different world. It's changing every day right now. We see all crazy stuff. Joey Spence, drinking out of the cup, buddy. So, I don't know. How about this, folks? Yeah, this TikTok stuff. I don't know if you follow it, but check her out, Alex Early. 2 million followers. I don't know. I don't get it. All of us here try to work our ass and try to figure out something. I didn't grow up in this world. Dino Manzella, what's up, Dino? We're gonna have Dino on the show. Dino's a great guy. Let me tell you something. Works with Seventh Heaven for many, many years. Great entertainer in his own right. He does videos with other singers, and he does cool different types of songs that you would never hear these two guys sing. And he's been trying to get me to do a duet with him to do this, and I would gotta do it as soon as his throat gets a little better. It's 85% because I did went laryngitis. If you're just watching for the first time, but Dino Manzella with Seventh Heaven, I want to get him on the show here again and talk about some stuff. But you're right, Dino. We didn't grow up in this world. Um, it's like really it's a sad world that we're living in, and like I said, I feel sorry for our kids. When some lady named Alex Early, a girl on TikTok, gets 2 million followers, and what does she do? I can see if someone's singing or doing something, doing some sort of activity that's pretty cool, but just because maybe she might be good looking, I don't know what she looks like. I have no clue. But 2 million followers? It's got to be a waste. It's got to be the younger generation. I'm thinking, because if they do that stuff with TikTok, we don't know that stuff. I don't know that shit. Okay, how about this news? A New Jersey man has been defrauding the Pennsylvania Turnpike for their tolls. He's got away with not paying tolls up to $1 million, and they finally caught him and arrested him. So how do you let it go that far, $1 million, so they come and get you? Remember, you don't pay. You back in the day, if you didn't pay your toll, they would send you something in the mail. You owe 60 cents or whatever the hell it was. And now we got the iPad thing, whatever it's called, whatever the thing is called in your car. But this guy defrauded $1 million in tolls. That's a lot of money. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. Don't forget, what's always important to support local establishments, live entertainment. It's always important for that good stuff. Record release party coming out February 18th. Speaking of Dino Manzella and Seventh Heaven, they just got back from the cruise that they do every year, which is successful, is great. Right before that, Dino and we were talking, and with Richie too. And definitely, I talked to my Mojo's Jukebox guys, and we want to be on that cruise. So, Dino, Richie, let's set something up. I did reach out to Richie last week or so. He said he was coming home on the 15th, so obviously he's home already. But I definitely, if you get a chance to get on this cruise, it's a lot of fun. I've been hearing it for many years, and I'm honored to be on it. So we want to sit down and talk to make sure what happened in January of 2024. The band's excited. My family's excited. So it'll be kind of cool. Hopefully we'll get our fans out there, combine the two fans, and it'll be a lot of fun for that. All right. So a couple of things, man. There is so much. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year. Who knew? All right, folks. So don't forget, tomorrow we'll be at the Hobart Theater with Ocean's Rat Pack. It's a 2:30 in the afternoon show. And then later on that night, we'll be at Bellagio in Roselle. Tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Like I said, so it's cool. A lot of good stuff. Check the web. There you go. Thank you, Dino. You can look right there, folks. www.chicagomusiccruise.com. Go into it. Find out about it. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kathy, how you doing, honey? I hope you're doing well. All right, let's get some birthdays. There's a lot of them that we missed in the last 2 weeks because I wasn't on the show for a week. Could try to rest my laryngitis throat. So let's get some. Andy Kaufman, the great comic, of course. Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer in the world. Sherry Lewis, you might remember her with Lamb Chop. Now we're going back. Now we're showing our age. Former guitar player of 10 years after, and also former guitar player with the Rolling Stones. Mick Taylor celebrates a birthday this past week. Betty White, a couple of days ago, would have been 101 years old if Betty was still alive. Of course, from Yellowstone, the great Kevin Costner celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago, folks. Let's go to Jim Carrey celebrating a birthday. Eartha Kitt, one of the original Catwomen in Batman. Bob Bell, of course, the greatest bozo we ever had. God, I used to love Bozo. You know, they were drinking ham, Cookie, Wizzo. They were probably all on something. But I used to love that show. Happy belated birthday to Bob Bell. Um, Lee Stevens, if you're watching, honey, your daughter Lana's belated birthday to her. Kid Rock from Detroit celebrates a birthday. Guy Williams, of course, he was the original Zorro. And then, of course, he was in Lost in Space. Jack Jones turns 85 years old. Love Boats. So exciting and new. Yeah, Love Boat, Jack Jones. Lloyd Bridges from Sea Hunt, father of Bo and Jeff Bridges, celebrating a birthday. The great Roy Leonard, of course, WGN, the great Roy Leonard. Oliver Hardy, it certainly is, Ollie, celebrates the birthday. Missed that. Bill Hall, of course, my good buddy Bill Hall, guitar player with the Dream Police, celebrated a birthday a couple days ago. Erin Murphy, better known as Tabitha from Bewitched, turns 57 years old. Robert Stack from the Untouchables. The queen herself, Dolly Parton, who got put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She got a brand new rock and roll album coming out with duets with Paul McCartney, Cher, a couple of other people. It's going to be pretty cool. A duet rock album with Dolly Parton. And happy belated birthday to Dolly Parton. Of course, Harry Edelman out there. Harry Edelman, the father of my good friend Frankie out in Las Vegas. Happy birthday, Harry Edelman, up in heaven. Janis Joplin celebrated a birthday a couple days ago. How about Archie Leach, better known as Cary Grant? Juti, celebrating a birthday. You know, he never said that. Cary Grant never said Juti. Rich Little made that up when he was doing an imitation of Cary Grant. So who knew his real name was Archie Leach? Robert Palmer, what a great voice he had. Lost him too early. Carolyn Monroe, liked her. She was in Sinbad and all those great movies. Great actress, celebrating a birthday. Okay, we got everybody over there. Of course, we lost a couple of things that just came out, folks. We lost Mr. David Crosby of the Byrds originally. And then, of course, Crosby, Stills, and Nash died at the age of 81. You know, he had a lot of health issues for many since he had the transplant. And who knows the way these people are dropping now. I'm not even going to get into that story, how many people have been dropped dead or had heart attacks. We already know my philosophy and my thinking on all that. But we also know that Dave Crosby was sick. Had a lot of health issues. So I think he's been sick for a long time. Shelley Fabrace, that's right. She just celebrated her birthday. I just got on. What about a cruise? Karen Dean, we're thinking about doing the Seventh Heaven cruise. Chicago Music Cruise with Seventh Heaven next year in January. So we'll give you more information on that. Phil Collins paid for that transplant. Wow, how cool is that? I did not know that. So Phil Collins, of course, from Genesis, end up paying for the transplant for David Crosby. I did not know that. Tony, your voice sounds better. No, I know, Christine, but thank you and welcome. That was pretty cool, Phil Collins doing that. So David Crosby. Also, a very good friend of mine, Randy. Remember the Cafe La Cave in Rosemont just made the announcement that they're closing their doors after 36 years. I've done many shows and parties there and weddings and stuff for Randy and Cafe La Cave, and now they're closing. And now they got some backlash because two of the weddings that we're doing this year are scheduled. We're supposed to perform at these weddings, and now they're looking for a new venue. So hopefully they'll be able to find a new venue for these people so they can have their weddings. And of course, losing the Cafe La Cave after 36 years was it's a landmark in the city of Rosemont there. So good luck to Randy, whatever he does in the future. So how about the very first McDonald's drive-through, folks? 1975, started in Sierra Vista, Arizona. The very first McDonald's drive-through. All right, interesting stuff, folks. Did you ever deliver a newspaper when you were kids? How many that are watching the show right now, man or women, used to have a paper route? I had a paper route for maybe 3 days. I end up throwing away the paper. I mean, I was brutal as a kid. So how many people out there actually had a paper route? I don't know. Richard, did you have a paper route? I did. Like I said, not a very long time. Wasn't very good at it. Oh, a paper route. Tony Toto did. There you go. What do you do? Just throwing the Frenoy out to people, the Italian newspaper? Oh, I did and loved it, and all the people. Tina Perry, how are you doing? Welcome to Ocean's Pit. Replying to Karen. There you go, Karen. Karen Dean Dino just posted the ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Look at it. Uh, Look at some past stuff that Seventh Heaven did. They bring different bands on. So I'm going to be doing it this year in 2020, next year, 2024 in January. I look forward to that. Mark, you broke many windows. Yes. Yes, you did break too many windows. All right, what do we got here? Party City. Party City files for bankruptcy, according to CNN. Party City. You go in there and get balloons and everything like that. Crazy stuff. Again, we lost our friend Johnny Coconato from Johnny Coco's in Lombard. Passed away. Our prayers goes out to Janine and the family. The wake is going to be, I think, Monday, the 23rd at Salerno's funeral parlor. So our prayers go out to Johnny Coco's, of course, and the family, the Coconato family. Very sad. Washington Post was talking in an article about people. They buy a pet, or they can't afford the pet, or they don't want the dog anymore, or the cat. You know what they're doing now? They're bringing them to the airport, and they're leaving them there. They're going into the airport with their cages, dropping the animal there, and just walking away. You're buying an animal. When you buy an animal, folks, it's like having a kid. It's not like you got to take care of it. And dogs need to be walked, and need to be loved, and need to be fed, and all that stuff. Cats, they still need some loving, even though they can, put their food in the corner, and as long as they got food, they're okay. Whatever kind of pet you have. So what kind of person can't take care of it no more, or whatever the hell happened? And now that there might be certain circumstances that they can't get up, but you don't bring them to the airport and leave them there. Debbie Jevin, you're right. It is sad. Patty Pendergrass, how you doing, honey? She's in the house with the Kings. Yeah, Kevin Lee and the boys. And of course, Patty. How's she doing? Incredible entertainer. Great musician, Patty. Ryan Lewis, what's up, my brother? I hope you're doing well. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. We're on Monday through Friday. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, folks. It's so cool. We got so many more great guests coming up. If you missed the show on Wednesday, we had Tina and Josie from the Josie Awards. And of course, the #1 international independent award show, where I won my award, the Josie Award for the best internet talk show at the Grand Ole Opry. It's going to happen again this October 21st and October 22nd, the 9th annual Josie Awards at the Grand Ole Opry. I can't wait. We're going there, whether I'm nominated or not. I'm looking forward to that. Tickets go on sale February 8th. Go to josieawards.com. Seriously, what's wrong with people? Why do they treat animals? I don't know, Ginger. Isn't it your birthday? Was it, Ginger, your birthday today or yesterday? Happy birthday, Ginger. I think I heard it right. I want to make sure. With the dog, Patty, how about people doing that? Leaving the dogs or pets or anything, or bird or whatever they are. Don't leave them at the airport. Find a friend that will take it. Do the research and find out where you can put these animals at. They deserve a better life than that. Do you ever meet somebody for the first time and want to buy them a toaster and so they can throw it into their bathtub? I'm sure we all have. Oh, how about when you see some guy goes, "Hey, man, I haven't seen you since high school." And you say, "Oh, yeah. Never mind. Just put the ketchup in the bag, bro." Oh, my God. This crazy stuff. Alec Baldwin arrested. Involuntary manslaughter when they were shooting the movie Rust. Alec Baldwin will not do a day in jail, folks. Will not do a day in jail. He might do house arrest. He'll pay a fine, or party that he supports will pay that fine because he's all linked into that whole thing with the Hollywood. And we all know that shit, and we're not going to go on that story today. They should be, Patty. You're absolutely right. Ginger, it is your birthday today, so happy birthday, Ginger. Russell Tripp. Happy birthday, Ginger. All right, so Alec Baldwin, you heard the story when he was filming the movie Rust. Supposedly, the people did not hand Alec Baldwin the gun, the stunt gun. They said that he got it himself, so he can be the only one that been able to put that bullet in there, whatever it was. So a lot of back stuff that we're never going to find out, folks. Alec Baldwin, involuntary manslaughter. Crazy. How about this woman? She was driving from Mexico to San Diego. She gets home to San Diego. She gets home. She opens her trunk and takes her luggage out because she's home. There's 2 dead bodies in there. Becky Lee, you're absolutely right. You hit it right on. She's Becky Lee. If you're not seeing the comment, she said, Becky Lee said, Alec Baldwin's case sounds like a Columbo episode. Excuse me. One more thing. Let me see. Yeah. Right? Lana Payne, he did not pull the trigger. Well, I don't know if he did or not. I'm not there. But it is what it is. And of course, the Hollywood elite, especially if they follow that regime or they get into that stuff that Hollywood does, he won't do a day in jail. He'll probably send him in, maybe a bracelet at home, house arrest, pay a fine, empty the garbage, go pick up the garbage on the streets, whatever it is. I'm sure he's going to have to pay a big fine and get sued for the family. That person is dead. You can't bring that person back. How about the woman I just mentioned, driving home from San Diego to Mexico, and she gets home, goes back, gets the luggage, ready to go inside. There's 2 dead bodies in her trunk. Crazy world we live in, folks. According to CBS, why we say this, well, at least filing those charges will open the door for civil charges so the family will get some money from them. Good point, Richard. I agree. Glad to hear your voice is getting better, Mo. Always a great show. Thank you, Gil. You too, brother. Knock him out with your band, pal. My good buddy, Gil. All right, so CBS, this came from CBS. Replying to Danny Anthony Patel, when the hockey started years ago, goalies did not wear masks, helmets. Were not worn until 1979 when helmets became mandatory. I agree with you to need helmets. All amateur hockey required helmets. There you go, Danny. Thank you for that information. I did not know. But 1979, if you think about it, wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was 2 years before I graduated high school. But still. All right. Anyway, this story from CBS. CVS is being sued by a nurse who was fired after she refused to prescribe birth control pills because of her religious belief. So CVS fires her, and she's got a lawsuit. Another topic, religion. Not supposed to talk about. Politics, not supposed to talk about. But if you want to talk about something, give the story to me. We'll talk about it. I don't know, man. If it's a religious belief, it's true. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. But also part of your job when you're hired that you're supposed to do that. So it's like, I don't know. Does she got a case? Probably. That is how you're doing. So good to hear you, Tony. Tony Shine. I'm trying, Lana. Thank you. So I don't know on that situation. She's supposed to work for the job. Part of her job duties are to give prescriptions out when they come to the door or come to the drive-thru, whatever they do. They step up to the thing. You got to do it. So I don't know. Everything is you're like on this, man. You're like walking a tightrope for everything. You're walking on eggshells in your whole life, man. Crazy. We already talked about the robots in the hospital, which I didn't know. Happy birthday to Jeremy Roenick, former Chicago Blackhawk, turns 43 years old. If she can't do her job, she shouldn't apply there. Thank you, Becky. You should know going into that job that there's certain things. When you apply for the job, you know you're handing out medicine to people. It might be medicine that I don't know what it is, but that's your job. Tony will tell you when it's on its mind. No bullshit. Thank you, Dennis. And just like Dennis, I seen a nice letter that you said about what was going on with the mayor over there in Lake Geneva. I read that. Interesting stuff. You should read some of that stuff, Dennis. Thank you. When I was a kid, and I used to play spin the bottle, and if they didn't want to kiss you, folks, they'd have to give you a quarter. By the time I was 12 years old, I owned my own home. Thank you, Roger, for sending that in from Evergreen Park, Southside Chicago. Billionaire Larry Ellison. Now, he's a billionaire. This guy owns his own island. And he's driving his Corvette, and he gets pulled over by the cops. And they write him a ticket for speeding. Now, remember, he owns the island. But he said to the police officer, give me the ticket. There's no excuse for me to speed. How many billionaires you know would do that? Not many. They would say, I'm this and I'm that, and my father is, and my grandfather is, or my mother is, or my ex-wife is. Yeah, how about that? George Santos trying to get into Congress. Do you imagine that shit? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Today is National Hat Day. I wear a hat. I love wearing those hats. Not a baseball hat. I mean, I do wear a baseball hat when I go to a sports bar, not in a nice restaurant. Also, National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. I don't think I've ever had a pastrami sandwich. I don't think I ever have. Have you guys ever had one? Because I never had one. Happy Bootleggers Day for anybody making booze in your basement. Happy Bootleggers Day. Happy Bootleggers Day. 50 years this year will be the Partridge Family. Come on. Now, you either liked him or you hated him. When you were growing up, man, everybody wanted to be Keith Partridge and everybody wanted to be with Shirley, right? Mom. And then you had Reuben Kincaid, the manager. Very cool. They had some good songs. The only two that actually played, of course, was David and Shirley Jones sang, but she didn't play anything. Susan Day did not play keyboards. Eddie Bonaducci did not play the bass. The other one, the tambourine and the drums, It was all studio musicians. National DJ Day. That was a couple days ago. You're right, Tina. Thank you. I had a hot pastrami at Castell's in New York. It was amazing. Okay. So I might have to try one, Richard. I might have to try a pastrami sandwich, but I never had one. So 50 years. Were you a Partridge Family fan? I was. Still am. That's just me. How about this, folks? Chicago bookstore owner, say a customer, got a refund of $800 worth of books after using them to stage a home for the holiday. Now, that return of $800 almost paid a third of the store's rent. So they're thinking they're selling $800. They're selling $800 worth of books. Ooh, what a big sale. Then the guy ends up returning them only because he was using them for displays for the holidays. Come on, man. How can you be able to return a book? That doesn't make sense to me. You read the book or you took pictures of the book, whatever it did, and then you're going to go return it? Now, I can see if it's damaged, but what if you read it already? What if you made copies of it? I mean, it doesn't make sense. This is how crazy these people are. You don't return a book after you buy it, and $800 worth of books? What, are you opening your own library? Thank you, Dennis. Every listener should share the page. You're the best. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, I want you all to share the page if you don't mind supporting the little guys, which we are. And we're just the little guys trying to go out there and try maybe just have a little fun in the hour that we're doing this every day. This what makes it because of you guys and because of my sponsors. But if you guys, it's just great. So I had John's Pizza in Edison years ago. Oh, well, thank you. I think I lost it on that. What was that? Mary Campbell. Saw you at John's Pizza in Addison years ago. Addison loves you. I'm 62. Well, I love Addison too, and I love you, Mary. God bless you. Thank you. Oh, Cat's Deli. There you go. There you go. Close. Thank you very much. Right, Becky? It's a con returning props. Come on. You can't do that. Can't do it. The reason, folks, we can't follow 17,000 pages in our law books is because we can't even follow 10 lines that was put on a tablet made of stone. You think about it. 10 commandments. We can't. How many people can follow that? So how are we going to follow this 17,000 pages of rules and laws when we can't even follow the same 10 simple rules? I probably did them all except kill somebody. I don't know. Don't know, folks. Don't know. Don't know. How about this? Anybody looking for a job? Now, this is pretty cool. You have to be qualified for this job. Also, opinion has become defined as truth in our times. Proof. If you were asked to provide a link to show the ice cream is bad for you, you can provide a link for the internet. If you were asked to provide a link to show the ice cream is good for you, you can provide a link for the internet. There you go, Dino. Perfectly said, my brother. Got to have Dino as a co-host a couple times. Dino says some good stuff. Yeah, so it's crazy. It's just nuts. Like I said, you don't return $800 worth of books. Just don't return them. The world is just crazy. Okay, looking for a job? Look at this, folks. Netflix. Now listen to this. This is crazy. Netflix is hiring a flight attendant for one of their private jets. The pay is up to $385,000 a year. Who ever thought Netflix is hiring a flight attendant for one of their private jets? They can pay up to $385,000. Pretty cool for anybody that wants to be a flight attendant. Netflix. Wow. All right. Fox News. USA Today warns us against using culturary words such as aloha, hola, and shalom. Now they're saying you can't even use these words anymore. I mean, if I'm correct here, isn't aloha hello in Hawaii? Or I don't know what hello is. Shalom, isn't that thank you in Yiddish? I don't know. The realtor stager has no tendency. The rent clothes such as tuxes, rent furniture to stage houses. The realtor is a freeloader. Good one. My 4-year-old granddaughter is working at Netflix sci-fi show. Oh, very cool, Ginger. How cool is that? Bill Saratella, where do I apply? But Bill, how do you look in a skirt? That's the problem. Bill Saratella joining us, folks. He's going to be with us tomorrow at the Hobart Theater in Indiana. Ocean's Rat Pack takes the show there. I will be there at 2:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. Can't use these words. How about you Beatle fans out there? I know Albert's a Beatle fan. I think Dino is too. You love the Beatles. Up this back in 1974, a big promoter named Bill Sargent offered the Beatles $10 million to get back together. They said no, of course. That was 1974. Then Bill Sargent did it again in 1976, moving it from $10 million to $30 million for the Beatles to get back together. $30 million is a lot now. Do you imagine what it was like in 1976? Perry, does the flight attendant have to be in a Mile High Club? Good one. Not sure. Might have to be some duties, but how do I know? It's a good one, though. It's a good joke. I like that. That's funny. So the Beatles, 1976, they offered them $30 million, and they still said no. Now, remember, in 1976, they were still going through all that legal battle of suing each other and stuff. So I can see why they didn't get back together in 74 and 76. So that's $30 million, a lot of money. How about this? There was a lady in her Uber. I take Uber. You guys all took Uber before. This lady, she goes, I hope I don't miss my flight. Woman says the Uber driver took her back home when she got in the car and asked the Uber driver to turn the music down on the radio. The Uber driver did not like that, turned the car around, and brought her back home. What idiot does that? I've seen a couple Uber guys, and they've been pretty cool. They lower the music when you walk in, or they ask you what you want to hear. Interesting stuff. Turned around. What other state would you never want to live in beside the one you live in now? I don't think I can ever live in California. I'm not a California fan. I know my good friend Kathy Eppolito there lives in Santa Barbara. I think my buddy Steve Scordelis is out in that way. I don't think I can live in California. Too much shit going on over there. Don't like it. So that would be the state I wouldn't want to live in. Dennis says California too. Yeah, I couldn't want to live in California. That's just me. Some people might like it. I really don't care for it. That's just me. Not going back to New Jersey. Well, Robin, how are you doing, my friend? You didn't like New Jersey? I love New Jersey. Certain parts of it. I love New Jersey. We do the Hoboken Fest every year, and so we do that up there. Libtards. There you go, Dennis. There's another guy who tells it like it is from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so California is a place I wouldn't want to live. Simplest thing that makes you happy? There's a lot of things, folks, that makes me happy. Listening to a good song is fun. Watching a good television program. Smoking a good cigar. Spending time at the house, the family. I'm not that hard to get along with for certain things. Me and my wife, when we watch TV, we really don't watch it together too much. She doesn't like my programs. I don't like hers. But we do watch a couple things together. We like Christmas time. We watched the Hallmark stuff. That's pretty cool. And she watches like the Chicago PD and Chicago Fire, and she watches all that stuff. But interesting. Colorado, okay. Hey, you still have no voice? Sounds better, dude. Oh, I sang yesterday. I sounded actually not too bad, so it's getting better. Thank you, Lillian. I appreciate that. All right, Cubs. If you're Cubs fans out there, if you were a Ryan Sandberg fan, they're putting a statue of Mr. Sandberg right out in front of Wrigley Field. So by the time the Wrigley Field baseball starts this year, there'll be a statue of Ryan Sandberg out there. So for all you Cub fans, it would be really, really cool. The View is getting more shit. You know, I hate the show. It's a horrible show. But now they're getting even more shit because they never even mentioned Lisa Presley's death and didn't even talk about it. They skipped the subject like it didn't happen. That was huge when Lisa Presley died, right? And The View just skipped it completely. So the fans started calling the producers. And of course, this show is getting slapped for all the last 2 years. They're getting slapped for shit and nobody does anything. They still have their jobs. Gordon Ramsay's new restaurant opening in Naperville. Ramsay's Kitchen. Going to Naperville. Should be interesting. I like Gordon Ramsay. I like him. And one of my favorite, since it's almost come to the end of the hour, folks, one of my favorite talk show guys was always Johnny Carson. You guys know that. But I always liked Craig Ferguson, comic. I think he's Scottish. He's a Scottish comic. And he's coming back to late night. Deb Taylor, you're right. The View is ridiculous. People that watch that show, I'm telling you. Don't support advertisers on The View. I know it. It's crazy. Thank you, Marietta. You have a good weekend, too. Craig Ferguson coming back to late night television. I always liked him. Very good. Great sense of humor. Good guy. Funny guy, too, as well. So, all right. Well, folks, all the fun and sun. We've come to the end of the hour. But before we do that, folks, let's not forget one of our last sponsors. You know, we're so lucky to we have like 10 sponsors on this show, and I'm trying to make sure that we get them all their time. within that hour. How about Patriot Funding Incorporated, folks? Commercial money lending at its finest. That's Dave Antonelli at 630-675-4730. When timing is everything, it's Patriot Funding Incorporated. Mention Ocean Spit. Remember, buy local, shop local, support local people, folks. And remember, folks, let's not get the big sponsor, the one and only Ace Hardware, Norwich, and Ace Hardware Displays. You gotta love them, folks. It's very, very important to support local and buy local, and that's why we love our friends from Ace Hardware. So again, Ocean's Pitch brought to you by our good friends and sponsors, Norwich Ace Hardware and Displays Ace Hardware. Remember, they have been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods, and they got so many great special deals coming. Let's think of a couple stuff. They can get keys made. Need to rent a truck? We have you covered from our fleet of trucks, vans, trailers, friendly service, clean trucks, quick, convenient, right in your neighborhood for all your moving needs, folks. We offer screen and window repair. How about your Norwich and Displays Ace Cut program for car chips and fraction of the cost of a dealership? You know, when you go to a dealership and you need a new key made, it costs you a fortune. Well, Ace Hardware, Norwich, and Ace Hardware Displays cut that price in half, folks. A lot of good stuff. I think February 18th, we're going to be doing a live remote, me and my lovely wife at the Norwich location, Ace Hardware in Norwich. We'll be doing a live remote there, and Jackie and Raphael are going to have a whole bunch of specials planned. That's going to be on February 18th, 8330 West Lawrence Avenue. We'll be there live, me and Laura, live remote. All right, guys. Anyway, let's not forget to please support live entertainment, support local establishments, support. Remember, man, it's important to buy local and shop local. Don't forget the new CD coming out February 18th on that Saturday. We're going to be at the Club Arcada Speakeasy with the Main Event Band. The new CD is called I Heard I Had a Good Time. Go to oshows.com and get those tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun with the Main Event Band. That's going to be a lot of fun. I want to thank you all. Tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, Hobart, Indiana, with Ocean's Rat Pack. And at night, Villaggio in Roselle with the Main Event Band. And let's not forget, Sunday, we'll be at the Drake Hotel in Oak Brook for a private affair with my buddy Louis Pipes. So that's going to be cool. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. I want you an incredible weekend. Please go out and have fun. Support those live music. Support live establishments. Have fun, man. That's all what it's about. Have fun. Be kind to everybody out there, folks, because life is too damn short. It is. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please remember the great words of Ringo Starr or Sir Ringo Starr. Peace and love. Peace and love is what we need in this world. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Same time, same channel. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. And you know who's going to take us out? The piano man, Nick Sahajas. Good night, everybody.
Time to go. It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
That's it, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.